Hi, this is Mark. This is a quick update. This is Thursday afternoon, coming up to 4 p.m. in the UK. Tomorrow is NFP. Yesterday was FOMC, and as we saw, there was a big reaction again, a result of the Fed, not only that they raised rates, but what they had to say afterwards. And as a result of which, I will update you as to my trades. Now, this is a New Zealand dollar, and this was from one of the private students the other week had called this entry, and she was quite right. Well done to Catherine. I showed how I'd left the balance running. There's a short video in the members area from last week. I'd left part of it running. I got taken out at 64.82. So that one was a net gain on the balance for around 250 pips. So that was very good. And I will be interested to short there again next week. Now for the euro pound, we had waited. We'd had some good shorts on this, and I was wanting to short here this week. For multiple reasons as usual, but I put a note in the forum before FOMC to say I was cancelling it because the danger was that the FOMC news could rocket, and it did, and it shot up 140 pips, and the average daily range on this pair is less than 60, and therefore it was a good decision to leave that alone. What I was watching, and I'd been talking to one of my private students, James, on Monday, and we were talking about FOMC, and I said, well, look, one scenario that I consider is if prior to the news announcement, price is a significant distance away from my chosen entry, I might still take the trade. And one of the things I do pay close attention to is the average daily range. So this is the Aussie dollar, and of late, I mean, it's up more than normal. It's over 100 pips a day, but yesterday, with the FOMC news, this was the FOMC candle, it was 180 pips away from where I wanted to enter, and for the day yesterday it had already done at this point 80 pips, so it would be a 200 pip run up. So the way I look at things like this is, if it's going to go on a crazy run as a reaction to news, where's it probably going to stop? And therefore I did have an order to still take this Aussie dollar short. Unfortunately, it didn't get up to my level. However, I did catch the Aussie CAD, almost textbook. Said on Sunday my analysis I was going to short this at 92.45, which is where I am in. And on this one, this was the same scenario that James and I had looked at the other day. I'd said to him, if price was down here prior to the news, bearing in mind that the average daily range is around 80, if it got up to here, that will be 2 days average daily range. Now, as it was, it started higher up, but for the day, it would still be 150 pips. I went down to a 1 hour chart early morning for me, and you could see that price was clearly in a range. It had rejected at this major previous support and resistance from a weekly. It had already, at that point, moved, well, we saw how much it moved from the day before. So for me, this was a no-brainer as a short. Now, I am still in this now, and my initial stop on this was 35 pips away. We are now over 85, 90, so we're over 2 to 1. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to move the stop on this one. My concerns with this is my overall target is quite reasonable, I think, is here. But tomorrow is NFP day, and today already it's done 70 odd pips, and the average is 80 odd. Now, yesterday was an extreme day, and already today we've done 121 pips, and New York has been out for a few hours as well. So I'm kind of thinking this might have gone as far as it's going to go. So I can now close for the week. I made my profit for the week. I can close it out now, and I can walk away. Or what I'm going to do, I'm going to take part of the trade off. And I've shown folks how to do this before. Make sure you haven't got one stop trading in, because if you have, it'll close all of it. But what you can do is you go into the order, and we're short here for one lot. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take 80% of this trade off. So to do that, you choose the amount you wish to close, and I'm going to close 80% of the trade. And I now only have a balance left, you can't really see it here, of 20.20 of a lot. Now, also, I had 40 pips stop. I don't want this trade to come back and take me out and to lose some from this trade. So the bare minimum, I am going to move my stop below my entry plus a few pips to allow for the spread, so I won't get taken out on the spread. Now for managing this trade, what I tend to do is something like this now, is go down to a 4 hour and have a look at what's going down on there. And one of the things I often will do is to trail the stop 2 or 3 candlesticks behind current price. Now London closes in an hour and a quarter's time, so I'm going to keep my eye on this and see what it does. I will either leave the stop up here, but I will need to close this tomorrow lunchtime, my time for NFP, and see if we can get lower. I've only got part of the trading, I've already banked my profit, so I'm okay now, it's completely risk-free. And the other option is you can even go down to a 1 hour and start looking for where candlesticks have started to consolidate again. So 92.15, we're above the whole number, lock in a few more here, and now, so we've locked in 16. If it goes on a crazy run down here, I will be happy to take the profit off at 90.50. So let's also add that in now as well. So we're going to put in our take profit 0.90, I think it's 55 we're going to go for. So here we go. If that one pays off, it was 30-40 pip risk, and we would get 180 out of the balance. So it's showing you how I manage trades, how I manage trades around big news announcements. But NFP tomorrow is crazy time. I don't trade Fridays anyway, so I do not trade NFP Friday ever, even with the way I've just shown you. Have a great weekend. Catch you later.